You come see me on tour in Rutherford, New Jersey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ontario, California, Las Vegas, Davenport, Iowa, Chicago, Illinois. We're doing a live panel video show, special surprise guests on that show, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to Jimmy Dore because they don't want to buy it from a second reseller. By the way, Benjamin Netanyahu's not his real name. Did you know that?
I was going to tell you that. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
It's like Minkowski or something?
Yeah, it's like a Polish-sounding last name, and the reason why he changed it is because he doesn't want people to know he's really from Europe, and he's not actually from there.
Oh, it's also an extremist. He's part of an extremist Zionist family, and his last name means God has given, as in that's our land. So he's actually, imagine your name is like, you know, I don't know, Charlie, Pride of America or some poor shit. That's his name.
So now he's saying... A catastrophic mistake occurred yesterday in Rafah, and we are investigating it. So what they did was they bombed the refugees. They told everybody, 1 million people, they got them out of Gaza, put them into Rafah, said go there, be safe, and then they bombed them and killed them.
And some were left alive, and that's the tragic mistake?
And here's the headlines. Netanyahu acknowledges tragic mistake after Rafah strike kills dozens of Palestinians. Deadly strike on Rafah, tragic mishap. Oh, it's a tragic mishap. Oh, it's tragic. You know, the same thing you've been doing all along.
Where's a tragedy? What can you do? We got to stop ISIS. You know how ISIS won't grow?
Yeah.
I mean, Hamas. You know how people won't join Hamas after we do this? Because we're stopping it?
Because we're stopping it. So this guy says, Israeli airstrike tonight west of Rafah. Netanyahu talks of mistakes. 60 airstrikes since the ICJ rulings. 60. Carpet bombing of residential areas. Dumb bombs used repeatedly. Those are 2,000-pound bombs that kill everybody within a 3-football field area. This is happening because Biden, Sunak, and Starmer are partners with a monster.
Yeah.
All are guilty.
What's Sunak's dad's company's name again?
Oh, that's right. He's got a company that's making all the money.
Yes. So
off of Gaza.
Before the Patriot Act even was there, we were already all being spied on using stuff from his company that was Israeli tech. His dad is deeply involved with Mossad and the other.
Oh, deeply.
Yeah, and that's why, yeah.
And by the way, saying that those are residential areas, those aren't residential areas until Israelis move in. Okay. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday blamed a tragic mistake for displaced civilians getting killed in a tent city in Rafah, a strike that sparked widespread condemnation, even from key allies. So not only is the whole world against Israel now, but their key allies are even. The prime minister addressed his parliament Monday, blah, 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 blah. Okay, right. Despite our utmost efforts not to harm innocent civilians last night, there was a tragic mistake. Yeah. Israel had initially called in a counterattack. They called it a counterattack against legitimate targets. That's what they started with. After Hamas, for the first time in months, fired a barrage of rockets Sunday. For the first time in months. The strike eliminated Hamas's chief of staff for the second and larger Palestinian territory, the West Bank, plus another official behind deadly attacks on Israelis, the Israeli defense. This is what the IDF said. However, Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry claimed that more than half of the dead were women and children and elderly people who fled to the area after being displaced by violence elsewhere. The death toll will likely rise, with many left with severe burns, according to those officials. This is pro-Israel newspaper. The civilian deaths brought a wave of condemnation, even from some of Israel's close allies. The operations must stop, said Macron from France. I call for a full respect for international law and an immediate ceasefire. Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto said in a TV interview that such bombings are spreading hatred.
What? No, tweets do that.
Rooting hatred.
And chanting at campuses. That's what spreads hate. Not blowing up kids.
So there's France, there's Italy, Qatar, a key mediator between Israel and Hamas in attempts to secure a ceasefire and the release of hostages held by Hamas, said the Rafah strike could complicate talks. The foreign ministry in Egypt, which separately announced the martyrdom of a soldier killed in gunfire in the region Monday, condemned the strikes as a new and blatant violation of rules of humanitarian international law. Jordan's foreign minister called it a war crime.
Whoa.
The United Nations Middle East envoy said he was deeply troubled by the strikes and called upon Israel to conduct thorough and transparent investigation. The UN's top court The UN's top court last week demanded Israel immediately halt the Rafah assault, but they're not. The U.S. urged Israel to take more care and protect civilians, but stopped short of calling for a halt of the Rafah incursion.
Hey, knock it off, or I'm coming back there.
That's it. You guys better not celebrate. That would be psychotic. Okay, so now we just talked to the guy from the USS Liberty.
Yeah.
He said the story has changed further. Now Israel's trying to say, no longer was it a tragic mistake, but there were bombs inside those tents, and that's what killed all those people.
Oh, boy, you're always trying to blame Israel.
Are you Sleepy Joe who has zero cognitive performance, scared of walking upstairs without being worried you're going to fall down? Do you struggle to muster the focus and brain power for basic things in life, such as eating ice cream and riding a bike? This is selling coffee by making jokes about the president. You need to stop drinking woke liberal coffee and start your day by drinking Rumble's very own 1775 coffee. I think that sounds silly. There's no such thing as woke coffee. There's just coffee. But they do. But guess what? They have this Rumble has their own coffee, 1775 coffee. Never mind that it will be the best tasting coffee you have ever had in your life. As in seriously good. Steph drinks it. She likes it.
I do.
Now, I only drink decaf. So they don't have decaf right now. So I can't tell you, but Steph likes it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's also ethically sourced. That's important. That sounds woke to me, if you ask me the truth. It's also ethically sourced from a family farm in the high altitude mountains of Bolivia. So instead of waking up tomorrow morning and drinking your mold-infested, big corporation-owned, woke ideology coffee, come on with the woke. That is probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with. That might be true. Try Rumble's 1775 coffee. Support freedom of speech and build a parallel economy that actually values you. Now, I'm all for that. Go to 1775coffee.com right now and pick up your first bag. Use the code DORE, that's D-O-R-E, and you'll save you 10% off your first order. Steph's favorite roast is dark. That's true. You won't regret it for a moment. Level up your morning routine with a bag of 1775 coffee and sleep well at night, knowing that your hard-earned dollars are going towards supporting freedom-loving creators like me on Rumble. You come see me on tour in Rutherford, New Jersey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ontario, California, Las Vegas, Davenport, Iowa, Chicago, Illinois. We're doing a live panel video show, special surprise guests on that show, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to Jimmy Dore because they don't want to buy it from a second reseller.